Hi, I'm John Milewski, host of Dialogue here at the Woodrow Wilson Center, and with me is Joan Biskupic, the author of this terrific new book on Antonin Scalia, American Original. And Joan, I want to ask you first of all why you decided to tackle another book about another Supreme Court justice.
Well, he was such the opposite of my first subject, Sandra Day O'Connor, and I got curious about him as I was working on her. He much more embodies the Reagan Revolution, the counter-social revolution that Reagan was all about, and what Ronald Reagan wanted to do with the courts, much more so than Justice O'Connor did. So I got intrigued by him, and then also his first-generation Italian-American story is so captivating. So both in a judicial legal world, but also in a very human way.
That whole coming to America story and all the things you learned about him as a person. What are the most important things people need to understand about Scalia the man to understand Scalia the justice?
Well, you know, he was an only child, but also the only offspring of his generation from two striving Italian-American families. So he was so much the center of attention, which probably gave him the personality he has today, still striving to be the center of attention. But also there was a big burden, you know, so he had to prove himself to his parents, who themselves were, you know, had come to America with a lot of dreams about what they wanted to accomplish, and here was the manifestation of their dreams, this one young son.
Share with us the opinion that best illustrates his philosophy as a justice, this originalism that he puts out front.
Well, one opinion that really embodies what he's all about as a person and the kind of tone and rhetoric that he's so known for is the 1996 dissent he wrote in the gay rights case of Romer versus Evans, involving a Colorado gay rights law. And he was so angry at the majority for siding with some of the challengers to this. It was actually anti-gay rights legislation, and he invoked a lot of his own personal morals, a lot of his own view about what is really in the Constitution in terms of equal protection coverage, and it was a real battle cry. And that's how he spent most of the 90s, frankly, in dissents and issuing battle cries that got him a real popularity out there on law school campuses and among people, whereas now he's got votes, but before he had rhetoric.
So from chief dissenter to now in the majority, final thought is, where does he stand right now? Your book concludes that this is a big moment for him.
It is. I believe that he has arrived at the apex of his tenure, and right now we still have more conservatives on the court than liberals, and it will take a long time for the effect of any of President Obama's appointees to eat into Justice Scalia's influence.
Joan, thank you. You've written a fascinating book about a fascinating subject, and if you'd like to hear more with Joan about Antonin Scalia, go to our website, wilsoncenter.org. You'll see the button for dialogue. Click on that, and you can find a whole 30-minute interview. We hope you'll join us. Thanks.